Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania is now in theaters, so let's rank the Ant-Man movies. Hello everybody, my name is Jesse, and welcome to Film Talks, the channel where I love to talk about all things movies and TV. Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania is now in theaters. I've seen it twice now, and so today I'm going to give you my ranking of all three Ant-Man movies. Kicking us off in last place is Ant-Man and the Wasp. This movie has a lot of jokes, it's got a lot of humor. I definitely have a lot of fun watching it when I do watch it. But, you know, the villains in this movie aren't really that good. They never really made a big impact on me. And in terms of the Ant-Man movies, I think I would probably prefer to watch the other two most times over this one. It's not that I think this movie is a bad movie. I don't think this is a bad movie at all. I think this is actually a pretty solid MCU film. But I think in terms of the others, I think this one is definitely much lower on the list. In second place, I have the first Ant-Man. I really like this movie. I think it's a good origin for Ant-Man, for Scott Lang. I think Darren Cross is a pretty decent villain as Yellow Jacket, and I think this is also a really good heist movie. Just Scott trying to pull off the heist of, you know, stopping Darren and getting the suit, and Scott learning to use his powers as Ant-Man. All of that I think is really fun. Meeting Hank Pym and Hope Van Dyne in this movie is really good as well. I love Scott's friends, Kirk and Luis. I think they're awesome parts of this film, especially Luis. Luis, I think, steals the show. And Luis wasn't in Quantumania at all, which I think was an absolute letdown. I didn't even think of it the first time I saw it. But after seeing the second time, I realized there was no Luis in Quantumania. And I think it would have been fun to just see him as, you know, like a little cameo just in the first, like, 15 minutes. Anyway, so I have a lot of fun with the first Ant-Man. I think it's definitely much better than Ant-Man and the Wasp, but I have a lot of fun with it. I just don't think it's quite as good. In first place for me is Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. I almost left out the Wasp, which is accurate because Wasp really wasn't in this film at all. I mean, Wasp was in this film, but she was very much a sideline character. I get more into that in my review for the movie. Go check that out. But I really dug this movie. I had a lot of fun with it. I loved seeing it in theaters. Kang is an amazing villain. Jonathan Majors steals the show. It's got the same kind of vibe and tone as the other two movies. It's goofy, it's cheesy, and if that's what you like about the Ant-Man movies, this movie still has that, a little bit less of it, though I do think this movie is a little bit more serious than the other two Ant-Man films, which I think personally is why I like it so much. Kang is a very serious villain, and he poses a big threat to our characters, and I think in terms of importance to watch for, like, what's coming in the future of the MCU, this movie is definitely the most important. The other two films, you can kind of get away with not seeing them before seeing some of the other films, and you can still understand most things and have fun with them. This movie, I think, will be I can't really say this for sure because this is only the first movie of Phase 5, but I do think this movie is going to become important in setting up what's to come in the future of the MCU. So I think those two things are why I like this film so much. It's a little bit more serious. Kang is a threat. He's a great villain. And this movie, I think, is a little bit more important than the other two films. So I really dug this movie. It's got a 48% on Rotten Tomatoes, which I don't agree with at all. 84% on audience score. I definitely agree more with that side. I don't think this movie gets the hate that it deserves. I think this movie isn't perfect. There are some things that I dislike about it. Again, I get more into that in my actual review of the movie. But overall, I had a lot of fun with this movie, and I totally dug it. And I'm excited to see what more Phase 5 has to bring. So, yes. So there you go, that is my ranking of all 3 Ant-Man movies. What is your ranking of the Ant-Man trilogy? Let me know down in the comments below. And where would you put this trilogy as far as all the trilogies go? So, how much do you like this trilogy? Basically, what? I don't know. Let me know your ranking in the Ant-Man movies down below. Let me know your ranking in the MCU trilogies. And where does Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania go on your MCU ranking? I think I would put it somewhere near the middle, maybe close to top 10. Like I said several times throughout this video, go check out my actual review of the movie if you want to hear more of my thoughts on basically everything that I touched on Quantumania in this movie. I have an MCU trilogies ranking coming out, so go check that out as well. In the meantime, be sure to like this video, subscribe to my channel so you never miss out on any of my other videos, share this video with your friends and family, and I will see you in my next video. Goodbye.